Hi, a film I watched last Saturday was The Archers, A Canterbury Tale. The Archers being the production team of Michael Powell and Emeric Pressburger, also behind such films as The Red Shoes and A Matter of Life and Death. This film was produced during the Second World War, 1944, and is the story of three characters travelling indirectly to Canterbury during the war itself and getting involved in a side story along the way. The three characters being a young woman, a British Army junior officer, and a non-commissioned officer in the US Army. They, for various reasons, all wind up in the village one station before Canterbury, where the woman is suddenly attacked by a mysterious figure who pours glue in her hair. The two men chase after him, but he gets away, and all three get involved in the mystery of who this mysterious glue man is, as well as starting to absorb the beauty and history of the surrounding area. It's very much a paean to the natural beauty of particularly Kent, the Garden of England, but by extension the British Isles as a whole. It's a flag-waving film, but done in a much more subtle way of demonstrating, well, this is what we're fighting for. That the beauty of England and the the uh, the spirit of our nation. As the American also starts to get acquainted with English life and English customs, he mentions early on that he can't stand tea, which is used as a joke, and he's never seemed to be converted into drinking tea. But he's seen as the outsider who's starting to learn a bit about this country that he's suddenly found himself in, and will eventually be going home again. The mystery of who the glue man is resolved in a way that feeds back into the main idea of the story of uh, the the wonder of one's home country and how important it is and how it should be protected. But it is somewhat hamstrung by production issues. The story's finale is meant to take place in Canterbury Cathedral itself, but permission for filming was denied, so they had to get around that rather. And as a result, the resolution of the story is not quite what it could be. The whole thing does end up feeling a little bit slight, um, even for its time, and it did seem strange that it wasn't actually released in the US for another 5 years. The role of the American is actually played by a genuine American soldier who had no other acting credits, went on to become a teacher after the war, while we have Dennis Price as the British soldier and a number of other recognisable character actors in supporting roles. It's far from the best film that the Archers produced together. I would say that A Matter of Life and Death is a masterpiece. The Life and Death of Colonel Blimp, I think, is a more interrogative idea of um, English cultural history. Um, this is much more smoother and more easily digestible, whereas Blimp is more questioning elements of society in a way that was probably a little bit trickier for the time. And Powell would later go on, of course, to make Peeping Tom, groundbreaking 1960 British horror film, which pretty much destroyed his career in the UK. But it's an interesting film as a piece of subtle hearts and minds propaganda. I think it's quite effective because it never pushes too hard. But perhaps it's not suited for much more than a curiosity watch. And there are, as I say, other films in their filmography that are perhaps more worth your time.